Hello everyone, it's Dave again with an update on my Elvis collection. A few videos ago I talked about how I don't like to purchase vinyl online, but I changed that a little bit because I saw an Elvis lot on eBay that interested me, and I'll tell you why in just a couple of minutes. Um, so I went ahead and bid on it and won my first eBay auction in quite some time, and my first Elvis vinyl eBay auction ever. So the package came from the East Coast, and I will be doing my first unpacking video to show you what I have. All right, let's see what we got. First of all, a couple things inside this lot interested me, filled some objectives I'm looking for. One is a 45 picture sleeve that I was still looking for that I had never gotten. Another thing is I want to try to get as many sealed pieces of vinyl as possible, and I think there's going to be a couple in here. And then one other thing is I noticed that a lot of people in their Elvis collections with vinyl separate out the Gold Standard series from just basic releases. So I thought I would eventually do that, and one of these lots had some Gold Standard stuff that I had either didn't have or wanted upgrades, or were double-sided, so I wanted to get those. All right, let's see what we have. Okay, 45 red label. This is Let Yourself Go from Speedway. This is not the Gold Standard thing, but that's okay because I forgot there was one other thing I wanted to, that was in this, and that is red label Canadian vinyl. It is my first piece of international. Label looks pretty decent. Vinyl on this side does not. Vinyl on this side, if your time hasn't come yet, baby, looks pretty decent. Some dust, but that's no big deal. But it does look like there are some scratches on the A side. But the main thing I wanted to get there was an international pressing. All right, to the Gold Standard series. Picture sleeve of Crying in the Chapel, which I did already have, but I wanted a second version because it is a double-sided one. And this came out to basically $5 a record, or $5 basically per record on this lot. There's the RCA Victor label. Doesn't look like any ring wear, so it's pretty good looking. And like I said, double-sided, what I wanted. Wooden puppet on a string with wooden heart. Again, it goes standard, so I could separate those out. And I have this, but again, it's double-sided. So double-sided picture sleeves, kind of want to get a second edition. The record is not original, it doesn't look like. Looks like it's the reprint of Gold Standard from after he passed away. But the sleeve is the big thing, and that is an original. All right, these, I don't know if you remember these blue sleeved Gold Standards. It came out shortly after he died. This is Kentucky Rain, but the main reason I wanted to get this is because it is still sealed. I don't know how many of you remember a lot of, in the 70s for sure. I don't know if it was prior to that, but 45s came sealed on a card. And sometimes they had, sometimes first releases had the name up here, and sometimes even a little picture of it, and then the store would open it up and then file it in their 45 section. It looks like this one was never opened. Golden Oldies, that's what they put the gold standard post-death series. Uh, Blue sleeves, they put them on these yellow cards with the titles on top. This is Kentucky Rain, and the name of the artist over here, which in this case, of course, is Elvis. In right after his death in '77, this is how you saw them a lot of times at the store. Most 45s they took out, but there were so many gold standard Elvises that they were trying to sell immediately after his death that they just didn't take the time to unpack them and file them in their 45s. They kept them sealed like this in their Golden Oldies cards. And I don't have one that's still sealed. I remember as a kid purchasing just about every one of these as they came out. Of course, ripped them off of this so I could play them. So this is the first one that I have still sealed. Very cheap backing. They were made to get torn up and thrown away by the record store or department store. So this is the first one of this I had. Now here's a big thing I wanted and needed, and that is the picture sleeve to Santa Claus is Back in Town with Blue Christmas. I had the year's previous Blue Christmas one with Wooden Heart, but I never acquired this. I required this one. It is the original. Dusty, but it looks pretty good. It is the original Santa Claus is Back in Town. Is a thumbprint, not mine. I almost gave it one there. There's the label for it. So that looks pretty good. And main thing is this is a 45 picture sleeve I did not have. So coming close to getting most of them. I really have to go unpack my collection to see exactly what I have. I think other than the religious ones, I think there's only a couple that I need to get. And one last thing is okay, we'll go from 7-inch to 12-inch now. Real quick, the Crying in the Chapel vinyl was, I took a real close look at it, and it was a German pressing. It had GM. I don't know why I missed that first time, but it on the Matrix, it had a German pressing. So we have a Canadian and German pressing in there. Okay. Keeping with the still sealed goal, the 12-inch is a Legendary Performer Volume 2 from 1976. Came out on his birthday in '76. And it is a Canadian pressing. There's a sticker on the back that it's pressed in Ontario, original price tag. And then the other big way to know that it's a Canadian pressing is because it has the Hype Sticker Collector's Gold Vinyl Edition right here. The Legendary Performers series in Canada, 1 and 2, had clear gold vinyl, and that's how you can definitely tell right off the bat that they're Canadian pressings. Legendary Performer Volume 1 has that on it as well. This is sealed. I'm going to keep it sealed, so I probably will look for a Legendary Performer Volume 1 from Canada to show open to show the clear gold vinyl. I do have a U.S. pressing of this with the picture book that was included in it. I normally just do U.S. pressings, but the cool thing about this is it does have the Hype sticker like this. Canadian Tribute, by the way, the Canadian Hype sticker was like this. The U.S. Hype sticker was round, and that was also gold vinyl. So a sealed LP, a sealed 7-inch. This has a little bit of a split on the shrink on the edge. I'm hoping, not a split, but a tear on the shrink. So it's open just a little bit. I don't know if you can tell that. I mean, it's an inch at the most. So I'm hoping that putting it in the sleeve and sitting it up will stop it from tearing anymore on the shrink. Well, that's it for this edition with vinyl. I have one more thing I want to show you that I did not get in the mail and is now one of the big highlights of my collection. All right, well, here's the other thing I acquired. This was a young guy who was a picker in a town near where I live, just a few minutes from me. And this is an original one sheet for Girl Happy from 1965. He got it, I'm guessing, pretty cheap because he gave me a real good deal on it, and I had to jump on that. I will tell you, this is exciting for me. I know a lot of people have movie memorabilia. I really don't, other than vinyl. This is my first original movie poster, and it's the 27 by 41 one sheet. So this is exciting for me to add to the collection. And then this is it for a while. I'm not going to purchase anything more. I'm going to start unpacking what I have. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can go back to 2 videos ago about my Elvis collection being packed away, and that I've decided to unpack it and start displaying it for the first time in quite some time. Real quick, how do you know that these are originals? If you find a poster, a movie poster that's rolled, probably not an original. If you find it flat, mint, probably not an original. Here's one real good way to do it. Go to the top, and in the middle, you see the V in Elvis, and see how it creases right down the middle of the V? That means it's an original. These were folded in 8s and sent to movie theaters, and then they unfolded them and tried to flatten them as much as possible, and then would put them in a window inside the theater, or maybe hang them in a big space that was on the street where people could walk by and see what was playing. All right, well, hey, I thank you a lot for watching. Please hit subscribe and like, and I will let you know when the next video of Elvis comes out as I start to unpack my collection. I believe my next video is actually going to be on the golden age of Hollywood movies starting in 1939. Thanks and goodbye.